Hello and welcome to today's video diary for finding my way with Pi, purpose, intention, and emotion. I am Pi. Yesterday's video diary named Purgatory, I just shared a deeply somber mood that I was feeling because I am in a cycle of worry for a very close friend who has some pretty scary situation going on where unfortunately, contemplating one's own mortality is heavy and scary and sad and stirs up whatever brokenness may be inside. It triggers it. My mind has been preoccupied with this situation. I had the privilege and honor of speaking with my friend and hearing her fears and her emotions and her perspectives during this time. And I am so incredibly grateful for that. So there's just a couple of things that I want to share that are in my mind about why it's so important to be open and honest about our brokenness. In fact, I want to read a couple of quotes because this quality of being able to share your deepest fears, your deepest thoughts, your deepest emotions, it is essential to meaningful relationships. These two quotes came out of the book Rethinking Success by J. Douglas Holliday, and specifically in chapter 3, which is all about maintaining genuine relationships. The first quote says this: "Embracing our own brokenness prepares us to be a good friend." And the next quote says, "Be brave and share who you really are. It is worth the risk. Meaning awaits." So what I want to reflect on is what it meant to me that I got a chance to talk with my friend and hear her and what she's going through this situation. I felt like that was an extension of trust in me to be there for her. It felt like an invitation into this most sacred space of our innermost thoughts, often where we have innermost turmoil. It was an invitation to see who she is and her humanness. And it created and helped to create, contributed to creating the space of acceptance and love. I don't know that my friend is there for herself yet, but by doing that and talking to me about where she is, it extends an invitation of acceptance. It extends an invitation of making it safe to be who you are and all of your brokenness and to be loved in spite of it. My mind has been in worry mode, afraid of the possibilities that just seem more and more real. And when I am off in the future, I am just consumed with worry because I'm worrying about the possible worst case scenario, and it makes hope harder to access. So I want to read you another quote by the Vietnamese monk Thich Nhat Hanh. If we're living in the past, we're open to depression. In the future, we're open to anxiety. Only in the present are we open. And I want to share what that looks like in a moment, in a real daily moment that I had this morning with my children. I'm kind of consumed a little bit with anxiety, and I'm strong enough to handle this. This is not a discouragement by any means for any friends to not share anything with me. I am open to it and I welcome it. I'm okay in this space. Clearly, if you watch the daily video diaries, I've been in the middle of ick before and I understand it. My greatest interest is just in seeing you. And I'm human. And so I do feel it too. And I'm not afraid of my own feeling it. I also get stuck in the cycle that I think any of us do sometimes. So, for example, I'm open to anxiety because I'm worried about an outcome in the future that's scary. And I'm in that headspace, and my kids are up and getting ready for school this morning, and each did a wonderful job, and yet each had one little hiccup in their routine and what they were doing. And what did I do in my headspace of being stuck in the future in this anxious energy? I keyed in on the one little hiccup, the one little thing that they did wrong, and got upset and frustrated about that. And then, after I thought about it for a little bit, I felt awful for behaving that way. So I decided I wanted to try to be open in the moment with my kids. And I shared with them, hey, I am worried about something in the future. I'm worried about this potential outcome. I shared it with them. I showed them my emotion. I showed them that I am human. And when I'm worried about something in the future, unfortunately, sometimes that comes out as me getting irritated by something that's right in front of me. And it came out at them this morning, and I apologized to them. What happened next still makes me want to cry. Children are so beautiful. They dropped everything. It's okay, Mama. We're okay. We love you. Forgiveness is this gift, I think, many of us feel we don't deserve, especially if we cause even just a tiny bit of hurt for someone and we don't mean to, like maybe making my kid feel bad about himself that he ate this instead of that for breakfast. How silly, but it happened. And the only way that forgiveness could have happened was if I sat down and was honest with myself about why I acted that way and what I was feeling, and then shared it openly and honestly with the other person, in this case, my kids, to show them my brokenness. I extended to them the same gift that my friend extended to me, and I just want to say this, and I hope that this reverberates with hope and love amongst whoever listens to this and anyone that they have relationships with. We must forgive ourselves. We are not perfect, and sometimes we will hurt others, and sometimes that's not our fault. Like if there's a medical situation going on that you have no control over and you may pass from this world as a real possibility, and that in and of itself may hurt others, I forgive you. I just need to say it out loud. I forgive you. We can't always help it. And sometimes, maybe when we stop and think about it, we could learn from it and choose better the next time, or at least keep returning to choosing better the next time. But you'll never be able to learn from it if you don't forgive yourself and allow yourself to be open and show your brokenness to the people who you love. It's not a sign of weakness, it's incredible strength. I am forever blessed with this moment with my children where they saw me and I told them I saw them, and I apologized for where I was. I showed them we are all human and we all hurt and we all have some broken bits to us. It doesn't give us right to hurt others. We need to own our choices and our behaviors, and we also need to be honest and tell the truth. And we had this moment together that was like just group hug, held together in love. Hold the space together. And here's the other thing. I invited them in to learn how, sounds awful, but how to suffer successfully. Glennon Doyle talks about that we try to keep our children from pain or from experiencing any pain or anything that's hurtful to them. Is that really possible? I ask you. What about when they leave home? Who's going to protect them then? Life has pain. We don't always get to choose what happens to us, but we can choose how we'll handle it. And for me, the only way I know how to teach my children how to handle it is to let them see mine, to invite them in to understand what pain may feel like, and that often something beautiful can come out of it. Certainly doesn't feel like it in the moment, but maybe down the road. It's something like beauty can coexist with hard things. Like in the midst of this situation my friend is going through, and the worry and the fear that's involved with it, this beautiful moment with my children happened, that they coexisted. So that's what I'm thinking about today. And I am feeling the emotions of all of this. I am trying to reconnect to the present moment and to stop being stuck in the future and to be open. Only by being present can we be open. And that is how I will access hope. Why? Because my friend is still here today. We don't know what the future holds. And as long as we have today, we'll be present here. Thanks for being with me on this journey from an emotional pie. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope it helps you too. I'll see you tomorrow.